Welcome back to that Thursday thing. I'm your host, Mr. U. Travis is in the house. Shane and Herb are en route. We're back with you, man, talking NFL as usual. We're in that hot time of the season, man, where it's all about the NFL draft. The coverage is insane. It's nonstop. It don't quit. It's all we're talking about, but it's on our consciousness for at least for the next 4 weeks at least. So I'm excited about this. It's an exciting time of the year, man. And I know you're doing that work out there, man. BigCatCountry.com. You're doing the Jags coverage. I know it's all NFL draft talk right now, man. What are you hearing in your neck of the woods, brother? Anything interesting?
Well, it's mostly NFL draft talk, but because we have a new head coach and we have a new general manager, it's a lot of everything, honestly. Because everybody has their theories on what the defense is going to look like. They have their theories on what how the general manager feels about certain players on the roster. They got their feelings on what kind of schemes we're going to run and everything else. So it's been a lot of conversation just around all of it, not just in the NFL draft. But that's a big part of it because the monster don't start moving.
Yeah, is that the kind of stuff that you listen to ordinarily though, or do you just normally phase that stuff out and you look for other things?
Well, because I also have our podcast, The Duval Dive, on YouTube and on wherever you catch your podcast. But also, I write for Big Cat Country, and that's breaking news stuff. And then in the off season, I handle like analysis and stuff like that. I'm a little bit all over the place, frankly. So it's not about what I listen to; it's truly about what I put out there. And I kind of listen to everything and create content in a lot of ways, also. So it's a little bit of both.
Copy that. All right, we're gonna have fun tonight. I think we need to. I had a little game we're gonna try to play. So we're at the end of the shows. We'll see if we're gonna work out tonight. I think it's gonna be fun, but it might take 2 episodes. It depends. It's extensive. But I want to talk about NFL purgatory too, especially when it comes to quarterbacks, because our team is definitely in it. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of teams in the league that are in it still. Some of them don't even realize they are. I need to send them an email. But we try to get to that mainly too. But little NFL draft, we're gonna try to get into some of that stuff too. Just news and notes wise, man. Anything on the street that you heard that you thought was just like interesting enough to kind of pay attention to?
Anything worth
NFL news and notes wise, yeah.
NFL news worth paying attention to. That's an interesting one. I mean, because everybody's if you're talking this time of year, you're talking NFL draft stuff, and unfortunately, it is line season. NFL draft, that is I call it. I've always called it that. This is just line. It's peak lion season. So you only know half the things you hear, and sometimes you hear stuff that just don't make sense. I don't know if I can't even report this because I don't know if I believe it. And so it's a lot of that kind of stuff. Like when you heard early on in the process, Trevor Lawrence is going to be traded to Pittsburgh, or they're looking into it, and I'm like, that's nonsense. Or maybe the Jaguars might want to trade Javon Walker. But it don't feel like that don't pass the sniff test. Like it's just
I didn't even hear that first one. I didn't hear that first one. No. Why would you trade him based on what? You think he really screwed the franchise up that bad?
Yeah, the report wasn't that the Jaguars were going to trade him. The report was that Pittsburgh was reaching out to find out how the Jaguars' new front office felt about him. It was nonsense. And we knew it was nonsense as soon as it came out. But it was just like one of those things like, well, now we got to talk about it for 3 days, a week, whatever it is. But that's what I say. It's line season, man. Everybody's just reporting stuff, and 50%. 50% is the best you're going to do. It's just, the stuff you're hearing.
We're going to talk about some of these lies this evening. Carissa Johnson's in the house. Carissa, how you doing, KJ? Hope you're doing good. So good to see you and hear from you today. Hope all is well. All right. My guy, Med, you guys have probably will remember him. He's been a recent addition to our co-hosting team. A wealth of knowledge. The man knows his stuff, man. Draft stuff, coaching-wise. The man's a sharp mind, man. I don't know why he want to hang out with me, but sharp mind, man. But good to have you in the house, Med. As a matter of fact, I got a message for you, Med, from a special guest. He wanted to drop some information to you, or at least ask you a question. I'm gonna get his message to you queued up right now while I know you're in the chat. So check out this message from our special guest. You might recognize this guy. I'm not quite sure if you will or not, but here's his message to you, man.
What's up, guys? Like I said, show bellissimo, mucho bella. It's a thing of beauty. So like I said, sometimes you just get rid of somebody who's just not carrying their weight, and show is just like 1,000 times better tonight. It's amazing. Love it. Got a question for Med. Med, I was told to give you a hard time because you're a Bears fan, but I was like, he's a Bears fan. Life is hard enough already. Let's not add to that. So I'm not going to make any jokes about the Bears. So don't have to worry about that for me. Given that you played in the toughest division in football last year, with the offseason moves that the Bears have made, and with the draft upcoming, what chances do you feel, or how's your confidence in them climbing up the ranks, not even in the conference, just in the division itself? And is this a year where, hey, I just need to see some progress, or we better make the playoffs? Where do you feel as a Bears fan and thinking about the organization in the whole? Appreciate you guys.
Fantastic question. Med, you are out there in the box, man. Hey, it's been put out there to you. How are you feeling about the Bears, man? Do you feel like this is the year that they got to go ahead and get it done, turn the corner, lock down a playoff run? Or do you feel like, you know what, it's a positive step is enough for this team as currently constituted? So, man, you can go ahead and drop your comments in the comments section. Or if you are thinking about doing it live, that's all right. We can work that part out too. But just either way, answer that question. I think it's a good one because the Bears, I mean, if you look at articles and stuff on social media, you're going to see a little bit of everything. It's going to be a mixed bag for real. People going to say, you know what, after what they did in free agency, they spent, well, won't say they spent the most money, but they initially did, but they spent it very, very wisely to protect their investment in Caleb. So a lot of fans feel like, you know what, this is our year to break through in our division. Maybe not beat the Lions, but at least be in the playoff spot out of the NFC North. And then there's some fans like, you know what, we're still going to suck. This is only going to help us a little bit. And there's some fans in the middle like, you know what, this is an improvement. Maybe from here we can take another step. Maybe Caleb will play better as a quarterback, kind of lead this team, and maybe we can see some awesome things happen. So, Med, it's all you, brother. You can take your time and answer that as you see fit. Travis going to go ahead and talk while you're doing that. Go ahead, Travis.
Nah, man. While he's coming to his conclusion, because again, I have no dog in this fight, so I can easily give my personal opinion on that. Anyways,
good.
I was a fan of Ben Johnson in general, and I say in general because I still thought he was a nerd, and that could still go one of two ways, especially after you've seen what happened with White Mike in Miami, Mike McDaniel in Miami. So I'm like, if you have somebody that's truly cramming in it in the back room, and they're in there at 2:00 in the morning just crunching the numbers and everything else, talking about EPA per play and all these other things, I'm okay with that as long as you win it. But you have questions that need to be answered. So watching them be super aggressive in free agency, watching them trying to build this thing quickly, leads me to believe that they think that they have a shooting chance at making this a dominant team pretty quickly. And I'm like, all right, cool. I see what you're doing. I don't know how to feel about it, but I respect that y'all putting the money behind it and trying to kind of build this thing up. Cool. But y'all that's a heck of a division though. Let's just be real about this, man. Like you already mentioned the Detroit Lions. We ain't even talked about the Green Bay Packers. Again, a very difficult team to beat. And the Minnesota Vikings. That's what you're talking about? And you are just putting the money in, you are just bringing in this new head coach, you are just trying to figure this out. Even Detroit was terrible when they first started that first season, under Dan Campbell. They were terrible when they first started. I mean, they had to get a whole new OC. They had to figure out the chinks in the armor. They had to kind of piece that together before they then ramped it up in the end of that second season, basically that third season. And I'm like, all right, cool. So you got the Detroit Lions then situation. Oh boy, that's a mountain to climb. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, the expectation, if your expectation is playoffs as a fan, good luck, bro. Praying for you, because I don't know how that's going to happen in that conference.
It's going to be rough in NFC. Period. I mean, look at what happened last year. Excuse me, guys. Look at what happened last year. I mean, you had the Lions, Eagles, Bucks and Rams, I think it was, that came out as division leaders. And then the wild cards, you had the Vikings, the Commanders, and you had the Packers at 11-6. I mean, they weren't great in the division. They were 1-5 in the division, 6-6 in the conference. went into the playoffs with a losing streak of 2 games, but they were still in it. And I'll tell you this, I would say there's some games where that they lost. It was like, wow, that one got past you guys. So they could have been even better than that. So that's already 7 teams I named before we even get to the ones on the other side of the bold line. So they got to do the Bears got to do a lot. I know Med's going to come and bring his thoughts on this one. You might have to break it up into pieces, man, because that comment section wants to ain't gonna let you type but so much, so you might have to send it in increments. But honestly, I know you're gonna have a lot to say, but the Bears got an uphill climb to be in that. I guess it's like 17. I guess to be in 4 divisions and 3 wild card. I think it is. You got to make a big leap from where you were. I mean, and where were you? We were talking about you guys were in almost 4th in the entire conference by year's end. I think you had 5 wins. I mean, you got to make a big leap. Basically, you got to double your win total, in my humble opinion. But you're going to have more than 2 games in order to even be looked at, because the Vikings are not going to. I don't think they're going to be worse. I'm a Michigan fan. It's not even a secret. Everybody knows that. I got questions about JJ. If you're having problems with your weight and stuff, and you can't get your weight up, quarterback ain't what you want to play. It could be a problem for you. In the kind of defenses that we got in the NFC, it could be a problem. So I'm concerned about that. But the Vikings are still put together well enough to challenge and to, I would say, compete. So I don't see anybody that I name that's going to be falling back from that place. I don't think the Bucs are going to fall back. I don't think the Rams are going to fall back. I think they might have even improved with Devontae. You mentioned that last week, I believe it was, Trav. Mm-hmm. The Commanders they outshot their coverage for sure. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to probably do maybe even the same at least, or maybe they did lose a game or 2 here and there.
See, that's my prediction to take a step back. The Commanders, personally.
Look how high they went. There's no other place to go but back. I don't think they're going to go to the Super Bowl based on. I just don't see it. It can happen. Washington fans, don't hate me, but I just it's not NFC East bias. I just don't. When that kind of stuff happens, I always try to lean on the more reasonable side of things and not make these big. Oh, they go to the Super Bowl next year. Why? Because they outshot their coverage this year. It doesn't mean that.
I've always thought that if you have a offensive head coach or offensive play caller who is new to a team, they have new personnel and everything else, you're going to catch a lot of teams off guard. I mean, even the bad teams normally catch other teams they catch people off guard, and then they kind of realize, all right, this is what they're doing, and they figure it out. I mean, you can even use the Bears as a good example. I mean, the fact that they start their season winning 4 of the first 6 games or something like that, and I was just like, all right, cool, and then people started figuring it out, and that was the problem. And it's no different than the Commanders. If you have a situation, what's going on, Herb? You have a situation where people kind of don't know exactly what you're going to do, and then you start getting into playoff football, and people kind of start playing that real aggressive football, and then they get a feel for what you're doing, and now they have a whole offseason of tape and nothing but time to figure out what to do against you. You're going to have to be way different and way better than you were in 2024 to even hit the same level that you hit in 2024 and 2025, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. And guess what? Herb just jumped on it. He was one of the ones that called it from the rip when we was in our offseason 2 years ago, I think it was, after the Texans just had a fantastic debut with CJ Stroud. He was the first one to call it. I felt the same way, but I wasn't the first one to call it. Herb called it. And he was saying it's going to be a drop-off. You're going to hit that wall, that sophomore wall. And lo and behold, did it not happen? He not only hit the wall, but he hit it multiple times. I'm talking about multiple head injuries in the same wall. So, I mean, why is Jaden exempt from that happening with him? So I'm kind of concerned about the idea that could potentially not happen. So I think we need to lean on the side of caution. So you know what? I don't think Jaden Daniels and the Commanders are going to do what they did last year. All right, so we got our mystery guest's question for Med. He's dropping his answers. I hope I'm doing them in order. All right, so it says, appreciate that, Herb. I think this is the season we need to make progress. We addressed the O-line situation with getting Joe Tooney, Jackson, and Dalman. Those are all good pickups for the O-line to protect Caleb for sure. Grady Jarrett, great addition on the defense, mentor role. Absolutely. I don't think we'll be up there with the Lions or Packers, but we have to see what McCarthy does in his first season. So he's saying they might be able to challenge for the Vikings spot. I'm like,
wild card spot is basically what y'all aiming for.
Man, I love you, brother. But the Vikings are good. Period.
Well,
I don't know who the backup is for McCarthy, but they still good across the board, man. Oh man, I'm not sure about that. I'm looking at the depth chart. I want to just Brett Rippon. Okay, well I don't know, but okay. So anyway, his comment says they had the best wide receiver tight end group starting in the NFL. I think 8 or 9 wins is possible. Now we're talking about the Bears.
The same team.
You saying the Bears got the best wide receiver?
I read this and thought we were talking about the Vikings.
I thought he was too.
I swear
now I got questions.
Yeah, I thought this was the Vikings comment. The whole time I'm reading, I'm like, oh, he might be. Oh no, he's not right. My bad.
I'm trying to make sure.
He is. So he is. He's saying the Vikings have the best wide receiver.
I like Hawkinson, but I don't love him. I like him though, but okay, that's fine. This is
Hawkinson. You put Hawkinson in the top 10 tight ends, and then you add Jetta, and that's crap. I understand it.
That raises this. Yeah, you could put me at tight end and still, maybe make one of the best, top 5 wide receiver tight end groups. Just with
is it important? Is it important if he's healthy? Is it important if he's healthy or not? Does that matter? All of this?
No.
Okay.
If you have Justin Jefferson, he gonna erase a lot of mistakes for you, so you'll be all right,
man.
Fair enough. All right, so he goes on. He got a few more comments for you, Herb, and for all of us, I guess. Kentucky division, and for our first pick, I want to see Michael Williams or James Pierce be added. I forgot where you guys are picking, but yeah, we can check that out too. Where you guys picked this year? I should know about Hart by now, but I forgot. Vikings had the best wide receiver.
Bears are at 10. Yeah, Bears are at 10.
Okay, and still not higher in the Dunza. That's all of us. None of us are. We're hoping he breaks out. Nobody's high on him. Not a soul. Except his mama.
I ain't gonna lie. I was high on him in pre-draft, man. Like before the 2024 draft, I was like, "Hey, man, that boy got that contested catch rate was out of this world." And yeah, that didn't work out well. But also, we'll see because better quarterback play always helps, and having a better second receiver also kind of can help.
Agreed. The championship game changed it for me. I'm sorry. I saw things. I said, nah, that's all right. That's all right. I ain't picking you high in the first round. Nah, that's okay. I saw some things. But great answers to those questions, man. I mean, you killed it, brother. You brought all the information we needed. Definitely appreciate that good stuff there. All right, so I can't run Shane's question because Shane ain't here to answer the question. All right, so that's all right. Well, our special guest has some more things he want to share with us, so let's go ahead and see what what's on tap of Trav.
What's up once again to the most amazing group of podcasters the world has ever assembled. You guys are pretty much the Avengers. And I'll let you guys fight over, who's going to be Captain America, who's going to be Thor, and who's going to be Iron Man. But you guys are killing it. Question for the group. Given what we've seen in the offseason so far, with the draft coming up, what is one team you feel like, hey, you better nail this draft or everybody's getting fired? We getting rid of everybody if you don't nail every pick. I'm saying if you got 6 picks, 5 of them better be great, and that one guy better be competing at least. So who's your team? Who do you think? Love to hear it. And roll Tide, of course.
That's a great question from our mystery guest. I don't know the answer to that question. I can't say my team because my team doesn't qualify for this because even if you don't nail the draft, everybody's not getting fired. So I can't even use them as much as I feel like doing that sometimes.
I need to hear this. I need to hear this from you. Who's not getting fired if y'all don't land this draft?
There's some guys in the coaching staff that's not getting fired. They're gonna fire the entire coaching staff. A lot of them guys overachieved. They ain't gonna fire on people.
I don't. But I almost did just then. I think
come on, man.
Them boys gone, bro.
That's that media talk right there. You listen to all that media.
Oh man, nah, them boys done, bro.
We improved last year in two specific areas. Nobody even talked about it. canceled us anyway. Didn't even care what happened. It's not us. Find a different team, Trav. Find somebody else. It's not us. Okay.
It's okay. I wasn't even trying to point it out, but it seemed like an obvious answer.
It's
to
too
me.
easy.
That's too. You said it's too easy. Then also said that it's not gonna happen.
How about the Panthers?
No. All right. Let me start.
No.
Let me start here. So let me start here. I believe the Panthers' arrow is at least pointing up. I want to give them credit on that. Like the fact of the matter that they were put into a situation where they were given a quarterback who wasn't ready at the time, and they found a way to make him look like he was ready at the end of that season. So like I'm going to give them that credit on that. Like I don't think that they're truly on that hot seat unless they lost like they would have to win like 4 games, 3 games, or something crazy. Like I don't think it's just specific to the draft. I can see something like that from Miami though.
Can I say this with Carolina too, though? You're almost in a situation because you just got the new coach. If it doesn't work out this year and he goes in the office and said, hey, this isn't our guy, we got to start over, he's got a better chance of staying than getting fired again because he didn't even choose the guy that's there right now. So I don't think he's tethered to the situation there's right now. And you did see improvement at the end of the year. So I don't put them in that category.
I got a team in mind that I think might qualify for this better than our team, and that's going to be New Orleans. Their money problems are so rough right now. They are reliant on this draft. It has to work for them because they can't buy nothing. So this draft has to work. They got to nail it. If they don't, you know what I'm saying?
It's already a rinse and wash season for the Saints, anyways. Just in general, like because they use void years so much, and they've used this the dead cap in such a weird, bad way, frankly, that it's already kind of just a rinse, wash, and repeat kind of season. So they're just hoping for they're just biding time, we'll say, hoping to be a 500+ team until this salary cap situation gets to a better time. So you're not wrong, but also I don't know what they really could do to, like, if they go 500, they're probably fine. If they are just a little bit under 500, they still might be fine because I don't think anybody has expectations of them in this situation with that salary cap. No different than the Browns, in my opinion.
This is all they have. Like I said, their money is so dire. They have to hit on the draft because they have. Okay, look at it like this one. Not only their money problems, but also the contracts that are coming up. The guys are getting dropped off, guys being overpaid. They have to build to. They don't have no choice. So they got to hit on the next 2 consecutive drafts. So
that's what we agree.
Now, only thing I will say is that I'm not sure if everybody's gonna get fired. I think they're a better candidate for it though, because what you're going to lose, you're already doing bad. You're in financial straits, dire financial straits from what I'm reading, and it's like, and the guys you got are either too old, or they're young and not producing, or somewhere in the middle. We got these guys with bloated contracts like Derek Carr. So to me, it seems like that a franchise like that's always going to try to build through the draft. I mean, what else can you do? I mean, Washington did it, and so many others have done it too. Made us saying that it's going to be the Colts. I'm like, I like it, but you said everybody gets fired. So I'm like, okay, now I'm thinking about everybody. Everybody, strike into.
They already fired the defensive coordinator just last season. So, and now they're already talking about, I mean, they were going into the season talking about bringing in competition for AR-15, Anthony Richardson. Right. So you already got instability on the offensive side. You're going to have a full set of change on the defensive side last season. That's the order that it goes in. Normally it's going to be that deep. One of the coordinators get fired and the head coach is right behind them. That's if it don't work out that following season. That's the Tennessee Titans all day.
Yep. I guess I just kind of
and to follow up on that with the Colts, you don't have a good quarterback situation. So if you mess up this draft and you still have uncertainty with whatever you're going to do at quarterback, it's a great time to fire everybody. All right, we're starting over next year. We got to start with a group that's going to nail the whole thing.
Primed. There you go. Yeah. It's primed to start over.
This is just press button. They're gonna flip the glass, press the button. That's gonna be it for them.
My other 2 answers are the Miami Dolphins and, surprisingly, I know y'all might not agree, the Dallas Cowboys. Yep, and I know the Dallas Cowboys got a brand new coach this season. It was also a coach that nobody else wanted. Let's be clear. Like, that to me sounds like a one and done coach if you ever seen one. The only thing he missing was black skin. because that's what they always do. Is try to get. They always want to get the black coach. They always want to get the black coaches the most terrible job in the world. Nobody wants to coach this Dallas Cowboys team.
No, that never happens. That never happens.
What are you talking about, Travis? Name one time that's ever happened. Name one time that's ever happened.
I thought this was America.
5 times it's never happened.
Name one time that's ever happened, Travis.
let me type up
in 50 years. One time that's ever happened. Just name one time. But yeah, no, those are good. And Med's right, man.
We talked about that. You're right. And they give them the quick hook when that happens too. Like, oh, you didn't win with the team. You only won 4 games with a 4-win team. You're out of here, buddy.
Man, I don't even want to go there. I got 3 guys sitting here right here. I've been talking about them for months. 3 guys are sitting like they probably got jobs since then. I'm still mad for them because they lost their jobs. They just sitting there. 3 guys just sitting right here. But yeah, Man's right, man.
Dallas that's a really interesting one because Schottenheimer feels like a scapegoat coach for sure. You know, that was hey, this guy's not going to ruffle any feathers. I can get rid of him and nobody will care sort of situation. But
that's it.
Based on what they're paying, like you're right about they got to nail the draft because they're mismanaging the finances. You can't wait to pay all your stars. We already see it, right? Even somebody like me who's more college football than NFL can casually watch NFL and say, hey, man, pay him early, not late. Like I don't even understand how this is a strategy. So the Cowboys is an interesting one. The only problem with the Cowboys is you're not going to fire the GM. So you're going to be screwed no matter what. So
when you say everybody, I'm thinking about everybody. I mean, I think about the ball boy. I'm thinking about everybody.
Brian Schottenheimer is black. Brian Schottenheimer is Black Gerard Mayo. That's what it is.
He is, but the GM is going to stay, and that GM hires people and makes sure that he has a scapegoat. That's his first goal. Have a scapegoat. Number 2 is win a Super Bowl, and that's how he runs his organization. Actually, number 2 might be make boatloads of money, number 3 might be
ridiculous.
You want to know something dope? What's something dope, but also kind of weird and kind of just funny? If you look at the Dallas Cowboys drafts, tell me that they don't draft well. Tell me that they actually haven't been like hitting in the draft.
We talked about that. Jones is fantastic at that. It's the other thing he doesn't do well.
They're just so bad with the money. They just keep hamstringing themselves with the money and the coaches. And
Jones will give you plenty of talent on the Cowboys. That was interesting to me. You know, so I wasn't a Milton fan in college. You know, I felt it was big arm, none of the intermediate stuff. You know, I just didn't feel like he was great. And that's what we saw up close. And then he has like one great game with the Pats at the end of the year. And all of a sudden, everybody's all over him. So it's interesting competition.
Okay. Here's my question for you guys now. Before we get into this question from men. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Whose job was it, or who pulled the trigger on Trey Lance coming to the Cowboys from the Niners? Was that a GM decision?
Yeah.
Okay. GM,
definitely.
That's what this is too then. So the GM is good at drafting, but he's not good at free agent acquisitions. Because
no. This was purposeful. I applaud this signing. I just wish it was Jameis Winston. But I applaud this signing because hear me out. Bomani Jones has been saying this for years. You already know where I'm going. Yeah. Bomani's been saying this for years, and I've never been able to unsee it because I'm a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. I also cover them. And when they had Byron, when they had Byron Leftwich as a quarterback, black guy, they had what's the name? Another black quarterback as their backup. It was like Cleo Lemon or whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. It's most of the time, 90% of the time, you have a black quarterback. You better make sure you have a black backup quarterback. Bomani calls them black ups. You don't call them backups. They black ups. And because that fan base, you better know your fan base. They are going to rip that dude to shreds as soon. If you have just an average white quarterback, you better know that quarterback better be top of his game. So you need to have a black quarterback to keep them fans silent. Jerry know where he at. He in Texas. That man say, give me this black quarterback from San Francisco. Yeah, come on in. Yeah, they ain't gonna climb it for you. And then it followed that up. All right, give me this other black quarterback from New England. Yeah, they ain't gonna climb it for you. Keep these fans silent. That's what that is. That man got a radio show. Mm-mm. He ain't trying to answer them questions.
Go ahead, Herb. I don't even know what I don't know what to say. Go ahead,
you
Herb.
got me on. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know
it's
what to
gonna
say.
be fun times in Dallas. This is Dallas's way of just manufacturing something. When you're become very, very boring and your off seasons have become very, very boring, this is what you do. Get Joe Milton. I see the Jonathan Mingo trade over in the.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Cowboys' old
There's
backup
so many questions. So many questions. I'm trying to get to them all. I can't even get to them all. There's so many questions popping up right here. I can't even get them all yet. But I'm sitting here like, is Joe Milton better than Trey Lance?
Is Joe Milton
The world may
better
never
than Trey
know.
Lance?
The world ain't gonna find out.
What
That's-
happened
that's-
to
I think that
Trey
man-
Lance to make you think
He still played more in college than he did in the NFL so far, right? And that was only a handful of games in college. So that man would be the greatest mystery.
I think they gave him a 3 for him. I'm like, a 3? 3s are like gold in the NFL draft.
I'm just saying them.
Somewhere
missing
somebody's playing it. Yeah. Somewhere somebody's playing Madden and they got Trey Lance and he is like their franchise quarterback and he's winning multiple Super Bowls. Somebody out there is doing it.
Nah,
But go ahead and answer the main question though. How you guys feel about this acquisition? Do you feel like this is Sapiens and Dak is not totally healthy yet for week 1? You like Joe Milton out here tossing this ball out here to CD Lamb? You like this?
I don't gotta like it. Jerry Jones loves it, and he's the right complexion. That's all that matters. Like I'm just saying, is he Cooper Rush? That's what I'm saying. Like they had Cooper Rush, and they was clamoring for Cooper Rush at all times, even though Dak was playing fine. That's my point. Is because they are not going to be out in these streets clamoring for Joe Milton, and you know it, and we know it right now. And that's the whole point of this. They paid Dak all that money. They're gonna have Dak on that field. That's what this is investment protection. That's all I view it as.
Herb, your thoughts on this question, bro? Any thoughts on it?
Like I said, I'm not a huge Milton fan anyway. So this is a weird one to me. CD Lamb just go long every time. Milton will probably hit you on those, but all the rest of them, I don't really try. It just
he was on my team, and he's on my team, and I ain't a fan.
I would have kept Cooper Rush, to be honest. Without all the other stuff, I would have just kept Cooper Rush. He fit the system. If you got to play him 4 or 5 games every year, he's good. What the fan base is missing, like to Travis' point here, Cooper Rush wasn't good for 10 games. Cooper Rush was good for that little 5-game sample where people were still getting a book on him, and that was it. But yeah, everybody always clamors for the backup quarterback.
So Cooper Rush is Gardner Minshew. That's why I feel like it's just that mania, that little 5-game sample.
Maybe not as exciting.
All right.
Yep. 6 games.
Cooper Rush he was solid, man. He was solid.
Cooper Rush
because he's been in the same situation for all his life. You know, at some point you can run that playbook blindfolded. You know, if you've been
and that helps.
So
fair point.
That's what I'm saying. So Cooper Rush run nothing but Yao Ming. Like that's it. That's it.
Come on.
Yao Ming's in the Hall of Fame though. So what we talking about?
Come on, man. I ain't gonna let you do Yao Ming. I ain't gonna let you do Yao Ming like that. I'm not gonna let you. I ain't gonna let you do him like that. No.
Yao Ming catches straight.
Not today. Not today, Trav. Not today, Trav.
If you're
no
watching,
sir.
man,
No,
I apologize on the behavior on behalf of Travis, man. I apologize.
He wrong for that. As far as this question right here, though, there are some slight similarities, but McMillan's numbers are better.
Yeah.
But there's some. It's like some.
They had more hype coming into the draft, I think, for sure.
McMillan feel like home this year to y'all. Ooh, let's get into that. Oh, I enjoy this.
I know Mr. You gonna say no, right? Because he likes McMillan. He didn't like Adunze.
I'm gonna say no to what I saw.
You like McMillan? Why?
Adunze was Penix's number 1 guy. It's established. So he was seeing target shares like I don't remember the other guy's name. I'm blanking on his the other wide receiver too. I don't remember his name right now. Adunze was getting the lion's share of the throws. So I mean, it's kind of you don't really have to be great. It's a relationship. And Adunza was getting those throws, and he was getting. I mean, I think I pulled the numbers up just because this question came through. Over 3,200 yards, 24 touchdowns. I mean, he had 92 receptions in his last year. I mean, he was getting the ball all the time. Yeah, I mean, yeah. McMillan is his receptions and his yards were better in less time. He had 3 years in. Adunza had 4 years. I mean, so it's not apples. It's not apples and oranges quite, but it's kind of like apples and pomegranates. It's not super different, but I don't feel like McMillan is. I guess I don't really see a comparison. Even the body and stuff, body type. I don't really see a comparison. I think McMillan was better at contested catches and 50-50 balls and stuff. I mean, that's just me though. That's just limited stuff that I've seen.
They're both pretty similar on contested catches. Obviously, Ted has the athletic profile just a little bit because I believe he has the height and he barely has the speed. Well, I guess that's arguable depending on how you where you saw McMillan's time because of the whole conflict there. But nevertheless, they are moderately similar. But the biggest difference is how do you feel about them looking at the tape? Because looking at the tape, I watched a lot of Roman Dunze when I thought the Jacksonville Jaguars had an opportunity to maybe get him in the 2024 draft. Like, I was like, all right, I'm all in. I watched like 5 games of Ted McMillan, and I was out on Ted McMillan before it was cool. Like, I've been out on Ted McMillan for about 2 months, and people keep telling me I'm crazy because the Jaguars draft at 5, and I'm not drafting Ted McMillan in the top 10 because he's slow and lazy off the line of scrimmage. He don't work well through contact. Like, he's a very finesse receiver for him being freaking 6'5", but he just beats a lot of college players on height, which that ain't gonna work in the league. So that's contested catch rate is a little inflated because he's just taller and longer than a lot of guys, but that ain't always gonna work. That's always been my opinion, just as a cornerback. Like, I see how he's winning, and he has speed and and what is it, acceleration, but then he don't use it but 50% of the time. He just because again that whole slow off the line thing. Just because of all that, I don't see them being the same because Rome was actually like aggressive off the line. He's aggressive with his hands. He's physical and in bump and run. Where he just needs that work is getting better separation in the league, but that's a different conversation. So that's why I say they're a little bit different. They're similar and they're both contested catch receivers, but they're different in how they get there.
Okay, Herb.
No, I haven't looked at either one of them enough. I know, like I said, Adunze just seems like he had way more hype coming into this. So, McMillan, like I said, feels bigger on the size wise, but I'm not ready to put him in that category for sure. Not yet, at least.
Same here.
I also feel like we're talking about McMillan more this draft because the wide receiver part of it doesn't seem like it has those top end guys. So his name comes up a lot more than it would have last year.
Don't be shocked if Burden goes first. It's not impossible. Don't let it blow your mind. It can happen.
If McMillan was in last year's draft, he would be like wide receiver 7 or 8.
Yeah,
that's the craziest part of this, and I don't think anybody even argues it.
No,
2nd round pick,
and that's why I say we're giving way more hype to, or talk about a guy that But I mean, you could say the thing about the quarterbacks in this draft too. So it's just some of your top end skill positions are just lacking. So we're having to dissect guys that we wouldn't even be worried about last year.
But we all own it when it's quarterbacks because we know. I mean, I guess we get it. It's quarterbacks. I mean, they're just different. You know what I mean? Like, we all lean into that for years. It's just like, hey, man, we know he's garbage, but we know he's a project. We know Tannehill's not going to be great, but he's a quarterback. He's one of the top guys, so we'll just give him some time and we'll talk about it. Yeah. But we ain't got to do this with receivers. We ain't got to do this with receivers. Like, we know, man. We all watch film.
Yeah. I feel like quarterbacks is like the safe one. Like, okay, look, he's not great, but we've got the pick and we need a quarterback, so we picked him. But if he doesn't work out, it's his fault, not mine. You know, it was just a bad year to draft. So
these are poverty decisions. I talk about it all the time. I view a lot of stuff in economics. Hey, man, when you broke, you're going to make some bad decisions. You might be buying this thing that's $10, but you can probably get a bigger pack for $11. But hey, you thinking paycheck to paycheck. That's what these general managers doing. They know they're going to be fired next year. They're like, I know the best guy is this guy, but it's going to take him a year to get developed. Or I can get this other guy who's absolutely worse, but I got hard decisions to make. These are poverty decisions. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Remember what I told? What was it? 2-3 weeks ago, where I said there's no planning ahead. It's year to year. We live in paycheck to paycheck. The GM's doing the same thing, and they like, how do I get one more year out of this? Hey, what are we gonna look like 3 years from? I might not even be here 3 years from now. What do we got to do to get me to year 2?
Tomorrow.
And, yes. And in year 2, I'll worry about year 3, and in year 3, I'll worry about year 4.
I think I'm trying to figure out how we're helping Med, because I understood his question, but did we help you, Med? I'm not sure we helped you with
in the Richardson era, and they bought in your boy Danny Dimes.
I mean, no. I mean, not that one. I'm talking about this question right here. Did we help? Did we help him in it? I know. I don't know his team. Did we help, or did we make things worse? What did we accomplish?
Would he be if they added to McMillan to the Chicago Bears?
I'd be shocked if that's what he meant.
I'm not saying that's what he meant. I said I have a feeling that I understand his opinion of Rome Odunze. So I'm just wondering, would he be happy if they had Tech McMillan on his team? And that would let me know everything I need to know about as far as how he feels about Tech McMillan. That's my point. If
I've seen enough mock drafts for him to know kind of what he likes. I think if your boy from LSU, Will Campbell, dropped 6'6", 319, if he drops down to the Bears, he's going to be happy with that. I think if Will Johnson from Michigan drops down to where the Bears are, he'll be happy with that. If Jalon Walker hasn't been picked yet, by the time the Bears have their card in hand at 10, they'll take Jalon Walker from Georgia. Fast. Kevin Banks, the guy he's named, he's named Kevin Banks before, but he's never, I don't think I've ever heard him say Tech McMillan.
Right.
So I think he won't. I'm guessing Med is still probably listening. I'll probably say he would be unhappy if they take him at 10. With all that offensive line, defensive help that's there available, no. He would not be happy whatsoever. Not at all. All right. Here's another question about the Richardson era. This is all about, that previous question about everybody getting fired. Richardson,
they brought in your boy Danny Dimes.
He's that far away from this anyway. And Danny Dimes, no need to speak about this. There's nothing to talk about here.
No, it goes back to my quarterbacks versus backups quarterback. They brought in the opposite. They know what time this is. He out of there, man. AR-15. They brought up the others to come and take your job, brother. That's it. As soon as he brought in, that's all she wrote.
I'm surprised.
And look, I realize Richardson has not. Yeah, I realize Richardson has not been great, but the Colts have mismanaged this whole thing with Richardson about as bad as you can mismanage a quarterback.
Yeah,
from the very beginning. You take a project at 4, you throw him out too early, you yank him back, you get caught. Like, they had no idea what they're doing. So
right, at least Josh Allen got the time,
and then they're shocked that it's not working out. Yeah.
I love to see it as a Jacksonville Jaguar supporter. I love to see it. Keep making them bad decisions.
I could be totally wrong here.
To worry about, huh?
I could be wrong here. I'll own it if I am. But I feel like, I don't know if it's something I read. I don't feel like Steichen is like on the block. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said I can't pick them, because I'm like, you said fire everybody. I'm like, I don't feel like he is in trouble, even with all that's been going on. I mean, because they've been squeaking out near playoff entries for the past few years or so. So they're not like at death's door every single year. They've been. I don't think Steichen's getting fired, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
So that's why
the planning. Is he not part of the leadership core?
Yeah. I can't pick him.
Part of the planning.
Yeah.
That got AR.
Course.
But
of course.
I think that's two different questions, though. I think what Mr. Yu is saying, they don't have to nail the draft. Travis, what you're kind of saying is they messed up the biggest decision part of it, and that's still trickling down. So what they're doing is doing well enough in the draft every year to build around, you know what I mean? So he should be on the hot seat more for the quarterback part and not for whatever they do in the draft. They've bungled the bigger, because they have a decent team put in around him and decent at the skill position, decent, they're not terrible all the time, but they have bungled the most important decision for the team.
But I've seen this with the Jacksonville Jaguars. You remember the Miles Jack? He wasn't down 2017 Jacksonville Jaguars team that was so dominant and built up in every other way. It was a perfect team, and all they were missing was a quarterback. Because they had Blake Bortles out there just throwing out Coke bottles in the air. Like that's it. That's the same thing I'm saying. Yeah. I know a thing or two because I've seen the thing or two. You built up a dominant roster, but you just can't find a quarterback, and you're gonna be out the door. Like I don't think that that's outrageous because that's a team that thinks that they're on the doorstep of winning a sorry division, and all they're missing is a coach that is able to pick the right quarterback or just develop the right one. I can see that dude being out.
Yeah.
What's prohibiting them from this? I know this is going to sound like blasphemy to somebody because it's always that. But what's stopping the coach from getting the quarterback this year, late in the draft? What's stopping them from doing that? They got a guy named Ross named Jason Bean. Have you ever heard of Jason Bean? I watched a lot of college football. I never heard of that man. So he's behind Danny Dimes, who we've seen enough of in New York to know that this could go really bad, really fast. You already seen Rich, who done some things that were inexplicable, even pulling himself out of games, stuff like that. Players don't forget that kind of stuff. Not just coaches. Yeah. Is there anything that says, you know what, they could potentially pick a quarterback in this draft? Because I mean, why not?
A developmental guy?
That's my form. It'd be a devil. It would be somebody you'd have to develop.
The whole team's developing.
Quarterback that you already have. And
the whole team's developing.
See, I would disagree that the whole team's developing, though. So
they are, dude. Look at their roster, man.
Somebody who has a close eye on the Colts. They've been bad on defense because they ran as Gus Bradley, old Seattle Seahawks, cover 3 defense that with the big end that everybody knows about now, and everybody kind of knows how to beat. So they're rough on the defensive side. So they've switched that part out now, and they're actually going to try to play more competitive defense, more aggressive press man defense. All right, cool. But if that's truly the case, and you have, Jonathan Taylor back there running this ball out of shotgun, 30 times a game. You have the RPO offense that is prevalent in college football. You probably could take an athletic running quarterback, maybe like a Danny Dimes, who's very similar to AR-15, and just try to run the ball and just throw the ball for 150 yards a game. And you're probably going to go 500 or one game below 500 just doing that in this sorry division. I'm just being clear on what that is. So at that point, you really just got to get you a athletic, I don't know, dart. I'm trying to figure out who's a good quarterback option for them. Like it don't got to be somebody like great, like Will Howard, Ohio State quarterback, somebody who's shown the ability to run a basic NFL offense and just kind of move them guys down the field, backup level talent, and you can just hit the guys who are open. Something that AR-15 could not do, just hitting basic slants, hitting basic outs, just those short 10 yards or less routes. I don't see it being crazy outrageous if their defense makes a bounce back that they can absolutely, if not win, be, maybe win or be second in the division in the AFC South. That's how close it is, personally, for me.
Yeah. You must like them guys, man.
I like it. I like their supporting roster. I've always liked their supporting roster. I just thought that they were badly coached because they had Gus Bradley out there playing as soft cover 3, never challenging guys. And I love the fact that the Jaguars are playing. Even when the Jaguars are struggling, Trevor Lawrence is guaranteed to put up 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. It was clockwork because it's Gus Bradley. Like this is a known. So because of that, I'm like, as a Jaguar supporter and someone who also covers the team, I don't want to see the other teams in the conference make good decisions. Firing Gus Bradley was a good decision for them. I don't like that. So I'm just being real about it. So because of that, I actually do see that as I think that they'll be good if they brought in a Will Howard, or they might even be good if they brought in someone like Tyler Shaw and just keep running that RPO.
That's what I was thinking about. All right. So Bo said, "What's up, Bo? Good to have you in the house, brother." Said the Colts also built the line for a pocket passer.
They built that. They line built for everything, man. They good. They get at that run game. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh man, drafting a quarterback's not a bad idea. All right, so just Jerry Jones comment. This is what am I doing with this? What am I supposed to do with this?
Mingo last year. He always trade.
I read this in the comment. I don't know what to do with it. I'm like, what do I do with this? What do I say?
I mean, the list of people that Jerry Jones has traded for, and it has people scratching their heads. It's just great. It's so good. It's so bad.
It's the
so
Cowboys, so their destruction is my pleasure. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what to say here, man. I mean, it's just
I'm
it's
not
just
even
funny.
worried about the fact that he traded for Jonathan Mingo. It's the fact that all these trades that he does or all these contracts that he signs always have everybody scratching their head. Whether you're a Dallas Cowboys supporter or a hater, you'll still be looking like, they really traded this guy for a third round pick. They really gave that guy $100 million. They really did. Like, all the things just don't be making sense. Like, they don't even sign guys early in the process. They sign them late when they cost them 40% more. It's just all of it. And it's hilariously bad.
Yep.
All right. I got one more question from our mystery guest. Let me get this Jonathan Mingo nonsense. I don't know where we're going with that. All right, so we didn't check on Shane, man. Shane, all right? Something happened to Shane? He heard a peep out of that, man. Hope he's okay, man. Hope you're good, brother.
That is.
All right, you ready? All right, here we go.
What's up, guys? Yeah, I know you miss me. Cheering on the Tide, though, man, and me yelling and screaming and jumping around in the middle of the thing would just not be good for business. Besides, you guys are holding it down, man. I'm already loving the show so far. Or if we just started, man, I know you're about to have a great show. Either way, man, I'm supporting you guys in the comments. I know it, and I love y'all. First question up that I have here tonight, Mr. U. I'm reading a mock draft where a guy's playing GM for every team, so it's not how he thinks it would play out; it's what he would do in every position. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, first 2 picks off the board. For the Giants at number 3, he takes Mason Graham out of your beloved Michigan. Do you support skipping Shador? And he did that because you just signed 2 quarterbacks already. And he said even though those are both bridge guys, he didn't want to have a third quarterback in there. So do you support passing on Shador? And if so, is Mason Graham your pick? So love to hear what your thoughts on that. Have a great night, everybody. Roll Tide.
Man, I've been in so many mock draft situations. Like my mind's about to blow up. But all right, so what I understood, Cam is 1, and
Travis Hunter is 2.
I blinked at that quick. Okay, so Travis is 2.
You were so caught up in it. You
Yep.
No. That's good. I mean, I've run these scenarios in my head like over and over again. So on draft night, I'm going to just have me a good time and just chill and scream and laugh and have me a good time. In that scenario, it depends on one thing. For me, I feel like despite what we did with the quarterbacks, even more so now after that, we're bringing Wilson and Jameson to provide some stability and depth, which we need desperately at that position. We have the ability to go BPA, and we should. So it depends on the medicals, though. I think I talked to one of you guys about this last week or a week before. Abdul Carter's medicals. If his medicals are good, I think this is a good, playing the long game situation. Because if he has the ability that he's flashed and shown that he has, this could be a good long-term piece for us on defense. Because it feels, and on top of that, it feels as though people want us to trade Kayvon Thibodeau so bad. Every time I turn my computer on, they got some kind of mock trade to trade. I'm like, I can validate it, but the return got to be really, really good. But it just feel like with the smoke, there got to be some kind of fire. So Abdul Carter on our defense makes it exponentially better whether Kayvon's there or not. So if his medicals are good, I'm taking Abdul Carter. If his medicals are dicey, we're not really sure about that.
But
I love me some Mason Graham.
Yeah, I just want to know your opinion of what happens if they take Mason Graham, because I'm clapping. If I'm Jacksonville or New England, I'm here for this. Please take Mason Graham, third overall.
I love me some Mason Graham, but man, not at 3, dog. Not at 3. I'm sorry. Honestly, I'm gonna say this could be Michigan Blast. I got some friends that are Wolverine fans. They might not even watch this show, but they might get me for this one. But if we sit here in this scenario and we can't trust Carter's medicals, I'd rather just go ahead and take Shador. Seriously.
But that's going to be so team by team and doctor by doctor and opinion by opinion. And if that's the part of it. That's all. I'm from Jacksonville. I hope they like it. I hope they run to that podium.
Yeah. What does his medical say? What do you need them to say? Like, that's one of them kind of things.
Will he make it to the end of this first contract? I don't even know if he gets a second. If he will make it for maybe 5 years, put that pick down. Come on. In this draft, either put the pick down or trade back. That's the options. It's got to be.
I like the trade backs. Yeah. I like
it for a lot of different reasons, but I have to understand why we're doing that. I know you're going to get picks for it. That makes sense. But are you doing that so you can get leverage for a certain other quarterback? Or are you doing that because you want somebody else? That's a part I'm not sure about. Trading back sounds good to me because we need picks. But why are you doing that? This is a deep draft in a lot of areas, a lot of positions. Why are you trading back? You trading back to get Dart? I want to understand what your plan is because I don't know if I like the idea of trying to do that for that reason. But there's some guys down there in the 9 and 9, between 9 and 19, 9 and 20. Super talented.
I mean, but that
will make our team exponentially better.
That 2026 draft is so loaded with quarterbacks, man. I mean, there's a non-zero chance they're just punting on this year and just saying, hey, man, next year, that's when we do this. And when we're trading back, we have additional ammunition to make moves next season in this loaded quarterback class. And in the meantime, we're just going to build a solid defense or build up the offensive line or whatever else and keep it moving.
Real talk, man. I know that we've been giving Shane the business, and that's GM Joe Shane for those who are just listening. And it's well deserved. I mean, even in his press conference, he knows that he fell short in some areas, didn't come through. But bringing in, and people will talk about, oh, you didn't get Stafford. Okay, that's fine. But bringing in 2 quarterbacks, that was one of the smartest things he's done in his tenure. Because that scenario you just laid out, it can't happen if we don't do that. Now it can happen. Now we can comfortably go into 2026 and not have to worry about whether we can get a quarterback or not. Do I want DeVito third string? No, I'd rather have somebody else there instead of him, but that's personal. You know what I'm saying? But now we have opportunity to be able to wait and still potentially be competitive and win some games, at least more games than we won last year, and still go into 2026 and get a guy. I don't even know who's out there. I'll be watching heavy college this year, so I don't know who I'll be seeing, but we'll see. I'm not even thinking about Drew Allen right now. We're going to just see what we got. We're going to see what we got, but we got a chance to bring in a quarterback who may be better for us and not have to lose that much leverage to do so. So having those 2 quarterbacks in the building, smart. I'll give him props for that thing at least. But yeah.
I mean, you got Archie Manning, you got Drew LR.
I ain't there yet. Based on what? His last name is Manning? Who cares?
That's what the streets say, man. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Asante Samuel Jr. was the man, and his dad was the man. I don't know. This is how it works.
That man ain't working. That man unemployed like me right now.
Yeah. Look, Arch can skip the whole next year, and he still might be the number 1 pick somehow. That's how much hype is around that man.
I can't believe this is too.
No, man. He plays quarterback, and his last name is Manning. They're like, man, some from Peyton and Eli rubbed off, right? Like he good, right? So
that's it.
He faster than both of them. I'll say that much.
Yeah, Eli wasn't incredible, but he was enough. That's what they're gonna bank on. That name is gonna do it all. He already first rounder. Let's just call it a day.
Yeah, definitely. I'm top 5 without doing anything. He could go throw left-handed for the whole year, and he's still top 5 pick.
Yeah, you're right. So, Jones makes the most puzzling moves.
But y'all are in a weird position because you do have a good quarterback like coach. He obviously coached Josh Allen when he was a project and everything else. But you would be in a prime position to get a quarterback in the 2026 draft and actually ramp up like a good quarterback with the pretty much rebuilt, hopefully, offensive line and hopefully, the rest of that offense. Or you could simply start all over. I know you don't think he'll be fired, but I'm just saying you have that ability with the.
I have no idea.
That's what I'm saying. So trade back or seems perfect if you just push them picks to 2026.
Yeah.
We don't have time to get into about, but I just had to close the show out with a question. Trade back to where? Let's talk about that one next week because that's important. Where we trade back is important. We can't trade back to 6. That's stupid. I ain't talking about that. We need to trade back somewhere where we can get some meat and get some picks. Somebody who really want to be at 3 desperately. where's that at? So maybe we can tackle that one next week. Maybe we can go ahead and shut the show down. But this has been awesome. Shane, wherever you are, hope you're okay, brother. Hope you ain't been kidnapped. Hope all is well. Where's all this static? Y'all here too? Y'all here as well?
Yeah, I'm getting the static, so I muted myself to make sure it wasn't me. But it's fine. We're wrapping it up.
Oh, some Herbie stopped it.
Just stop.
Okay. Well, either way. Well, we didn't get a chance to get into our NFL purgatory. Let's attempt to try to do that next week. In that game I got for you guys, we'll try to do that one next week as well. But man, tell everybody where they can find your work, man. I mean, Herb, if you got a static, I can probably do yours for you. The Herb and Raj podcast. But go ahead, man. Thank you.
Yeah. Are y'all still hearing it right now?
No.
Okay.
Are you good?
Herb and Raj podcast Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We also started a little Saturday show. We come in, very, very, very relaxed. They started to call it Herb and Raj Unhinged. So if you want to come join us on a Saturday night,
pajama pants.
So,
I like it.
Hey, you bring what you want, have a little drink with us, and everybody chill out. Just talk about. We have gone through everything. We start off in one sport and it just ends up wherever. So, had some guy trying to give me the business over the Jordan versus LeBron thing. You'd have liked that. So,
man.
It's already been settled.
Yeah,
it's settled. There is no debate anymore. It's done. That's
what the courts used to say. This is settled law. And then it ain't settled no more. New information means it's not settled. Let's go.
What newer? Okay.
The man had a son. The man had a son, and we are living in 24-hour media. This is what this is. It's always going to be an argument.
You know that's right. Go ahead, Trav. Where can they find your work, bro?
All right, man. You can find my writings covered in Jacksonville Jaguars, BigCatCountry.com. If you have any moderate interest in the Jacksonville Jaguars or any Jacksonville Jaguars players for maybe fantasy football purposes, check out the Duval Dive on YouTube or wherever you catch your podcast. We're always here for that, man. But as always, and I appreciate you having me, bro.
Anytime, bro. Let's have fun with this, man. But love you guys, man. Have a great day. We're gonna go ahead and get some Big Blue Lifers work going on over here tonight. So have a great night, man. We are out of here. Have fun. NFL draft is coming in a few minutes.